The New Patriotic Party says it has taken serious exception to comments made by former Minister for Environment, Science and Technology, Professor Fmr Frimpong Boateng, in a television interview where he criticized the party's current state, described it as, quote, fake, and openly distanced himself from the NPP. In a statement, the NPP says it has initiated processes to expel the former minister over what it describes as a conduct unbecoming of a party member. We'll hear from the party shortly because we have Haruna with us. But first, listen to the former Minister for Environment, Science and Innovation, Professor Fmr Frimpong Boateng, speaking to Channel 1 TV.
The present NPP is not NPP, it's fake.
What?
Yeah. What I see now, it is not the NPP I used to.
But the question still stands. Do you still consider yourself a member of the NPP?
Not the fake one.
So which one is the real one?
The real one is there. It's a virtual thing, and the members are there in the background.
You think that...
Look at how they elected their last flag bearer. You know, twist the arms of weak and...
This is for the 2024 election?
Yes. Twist people's arms, bribing delegates, and intimidating others to get a flag bearer. You know, this is a beginning of corruption, and this should not be allowed in any serious situation or any serious party. And there were issues. We lost the elections badly, and we did not deal with the issues that led to the losses. And then we still want to go in there, and I think it would be a train wreck if they elect the old flag bearer.
So your November article around how the NPP is proceeding suggests that you don't have confidence in the processes of electing a flag bearer.
No.
Is your problem with the Dr. Bawumia or with the NPP?
No. Bawumia is a very nice person, but being nice alone is not enough to lead in Nkrumah's Ghana. But now they want to choose a flag bearer, and the party executives are also supporting him. The party headquarters is more or less an extension of his campaign office.
Well, that interview he had earlier on Channel 1 TV. Let's look at the party's reaction, because after that interview aired, the party released a statement, and that statement is signed by the General Secretary of the NPP, Justifies Frimpong Boateng, and it's coming up on your screen right now, where they state clearly their next line of action. It says, the New Patriotic Party has taken due notice of comments made by Professor Fmr Frimpong Boateng during an interview on Channel 1 TV on Monday, 12 January 2026, in which he described the party as, quote, fake party, unquote, and further stated that he no longer considers himself a member of the NPP. In the same interview, Professor Frimpong Boateng made additional disparaging remarks about the party and alleged, among other things, that the party's 2023 presidential primary was rigged in favor of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the NPP's presidential candidate for the 2024 general elections. The party unequivocally rejects Professor Frimpong Boateng's unfortunate characterization of the NPP and firmly denies his baseless and unsubstantiated allegations regarding the conduct of the 2023 presidential primary. The said primary has been widely acknowledged by all candidates who participated, as well as by well-meaning members of the party, as having been conducted in a free, fair, transparent, and credible manner, faithfully reflecting the will of party delegates. The New Patriotic Party views the conduct and utterances of Professor Fmr Frimpong Boateng as highly reprehensible and inimical to the values, unity, and integrity of the party. Consequently, the party has invoked the relevant provisions of its constitution to commence the necessary processes to expel him from the party, strictly in accordance with due process. Well, that's a statement released by the New Patriotic Party. Thankfully, I still have with me the Deputy General Secretary of the party, Haruna Mohammed, still on the line with us. We appreciate his time. Now, let's look at the decision of the party to expel Professor Frimpong Boateng. Is that not too far-reaching? Aren't you trying to gag free speech?
Firstly, I'm surprised that you consider this as a free speech. This is somebody who has openly expressed his wish of not belonging to the membership of the New Patriotic Party, and we are taking the steps to grant his wish for him. This is a person who has been one of those who have contributed to the downfall of the party. If you go down there and ask the grassroots of the party, you will see the damage that Professor Frimpong Boateng has done to the New Patriotic Party. The party has constitution, we have laws, and when you go against the laws, then the party will apply the appropriate provisions on that. That is why the General Secretary has referred the matter to the appropriate provisions of the party's constitution. The formation of the New Patriotic Party was not by force, it was a voluntary joining. So if the person deemed it necessary that he doesn't want to be a member of the New Patriotic Party again, such as him, then we take the appropriate steps to grant him his wish. And the party will make sure that everything that is going to happen in this particular process is going to be grounded on the rule of law.
You say he contributed to the downfall of the party. How exactly?
For him, everything that, look at what he submitted, the kind of report when he was put in charge of the excavators and what have you. Ask yourself, where are the excavators? The gold and other things that they had seized, can you trace them? When he came and said he was going to do a floating bridge, how many months did it last? How many months did it last? So some of them are becoming negative numbers, and it's about time that we are taking these particular decisions. And this is not going to be the end. We'll make sure that we instill discipline in this party. No matter who you are in this party, you cannot overgrow your wings than this party.
But he's making some concerns, tabling some concerns before the party. He's alleging that party executives, deliberately pushed Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia down the throats of delegates. And this is a concern just yesterday a member of Brian A. Champon's camp raised on the same platform. Aren't their concerns legitimate?
Dr. Bawumia was not selected a presidential candidate. He was elected a presidential candidate. So in election within the New Patriotic Party, several people come out to vote. And those people were given the mandate to vote. They voted massively for Dr. Bawumia to become the candidate. The process was free and fair. And after the processes, those who contested in that election came out and admit the free nature of the elections. So for somebody like Professor Frimpong Boateng to come out and say that he was imposed, everybody knows that it was election, not even selection. So how does somebody being elected, being imposed on the people? They should give us a break. You see, bitterness within you doesn't correct anything. It's about time they take away some of this particular bitterness. You was asked a question about whether what the problem he has with Dr. Bawumia. They are window dressing the matter. It's bitterness. So it is good that he has expressed the interest that he is no longer a member of the party. There is no any MPP anywhere, as he wants to indicate. There is no any MPP anywhere.
He said there's a virtual form. There's a virtual form of the NPP that is in existence, and that is actually the real NPP.
I think maybe that means that it should be in Awudome, or it should be in Osu Cemetery, or any of the cemeteries in Ghana, because there is no any virtual MPP. Virtual MPP was not registered with the Electoral Commission, and the MPP that was registered is the corporate MPP that we know today. So that should tell you that the man himself is not honest to himself. And it's about time you go and sit down and reflect upon the damage that he has done. But this is the end of the road for him, because he will be soon expelled from the party. He can continue to talk about himself, but after the membership of the New Patriotic Party, then he can only reapply for the party to consider whether to admit him or not. But he is going to be expelled, no doubt about that.
In fact, you're already given a verdict even before he's heard, wouldn't he be given the opportunity to be heard before the Council of Elders?
No, he what to be heard? The person has said he doesn't want to be a member. He's no more a member. How do you hear him? To plead with him? We don't do that. We don't plead with people like that. Expel, if you go and read the Constitution very clearly, the Constitution is there. Read Article 3.8, Article 391 of the party's Constitution. The new Constitution, it talks about expelling. And also go and read about the function of the disciplinary committee, where you read on Article 441 of the party's Constitution.
What does it say about expelling a member? You can expel a member without giving them fair hearing. Is that what it says?
For expelling, he himself has indicated he's not a member. How do you hear him? To plead with him? Are you going to plead with him? He has expressed his wish. You grant him the wish. It's just like forfeiture. The person voluntarily goes to support another candidate or support independent or campaign against the party. You don't invite the person to be heard. So we'll grant him his wish. And I wish him well in his next endeavor in the political environment.
But you agree there's a spirit and the actual letter of every comment. And so are you saying as a political party you're not interested in the concerns he has raised, especially because after the 2024 election and the defeat of the party, all the key members of leadership sang one song, there's a need to unite. The minority leader said same, and even Justin Frimpong Boateng here on this platform said same. So why would you want to go after an individual when your strategy is to unite? Don't you need him on board?
Well, see, when water runs into the forest, definitely some of the trees will come down. He's not interested. So there's no need when in the drive towards unity, persons who want to stand on the walls or on the benches or the trenches and want to speak ill about the party should be pleaded on that particular boat. He just spoke his mind yesterday. How do you go to tell him? Look at what he said. The party's constitution is clear. You cannot misconduct yourself and put the party name into disrepute. How do you describe the party as fake? This is unacceptable. You cannot do that. And upon that, you said you no longer consider yourself. So if you don't no longer consider yourself as a member of the party needs numbers, but we need positive numbers, not negative numbers. He has served the period he wants to serve, and he doesn't want to be there. We'll grant him that wish.
Stay with me, Haruna.
Members who will continue to express those particular comments that will follow suit. We're not going to allow indiscipline in this party any longer.
Stay with me, Haruna. Let me bring in political scientist, Dr. Sir Asante. I also have with me Dr. Yawu Tamaklo. He's a founding member of the NPP. I appreciate your time, gentlemen, here on the polls. I'll start with Dr. Sir Asante. Looking at the posture of the leadership of the party and the concerns being raised by Professor Frimpong Boateng, what do you feel is the way forward, especially when we're seeing cracks appearing to be deepening within the party?
I know from where I sit that political parties are run by rules and regulations, and that every member is supposed to abide by the rules. So your actions and inactions should conform the rules of the game, failure to which you are visited by appropriate punishment. That said, it is also important for people to know that criticisms are the oils that grease the wheels of governance, without which any political entity will grind to a halt. So the political party, that is the NPP, must develop a very thick skin and have a big stomach to be able to stomach some of these things and then build capacity on that. It is important. But from where I sit and what I'm hearing, I realize that the NPP have a different view on this and all that. It's my hope and prayer that due process will take place so that what Professor Boateng has said, he will come there and then have his day before a body, and at the end of the day, we'll see the outcome.
We're just hearing from Haruna, and it appears he may not even have a day before a body, based on what Haruna Mohammed is telling us, that his verdict is certain.
Political parties are run by numbers. it is true that members must conform to the rules of the game, but you also want to balance it against the fact that you want to maintain the numbers. So some of these things, you have a way of handling it. I have seen people within the party who have said worse things and other unprintable things, but I did not see the sanctions meted out to them by the party. So this one comes to me as a surprise. But hey, I'm not a member of any of the parties, so they have their own business they want to write. But we as observers, we want to make sure that whatever they do, there shouldn't be element of discrimination, that somebody will feel that is being discriminated upon, or somebody will also feel that is being gagged. This is a fine line that they need to tread and tread cautiously. But I also believe that whatever happens within the political party must be governed by rules of engagement.
And it's interesting you make that point, because some people have already criticized the party that their stance is somewhat inconsistent, especially when we have party members in their camp who have made similar comments like this, and the party are even yet to sanction some of them. The likes of Abronye DC, the likes of Adwa Safo, still walking free within the party, yet no sanctions.
That is why I'm saying that whatever decision they take must be guided by rule of law, so that onlookers will not describe their actions as discriminatory and unfair. It is in their own interest to do that, because at this time of the day where the party is in opposition, you want to do everything to mend your differences and create an enabling environment where people will be able to operate and operate freely. They must develop very thick skin, as I've already said, to welcome criticisms so that out of that they can be able to build. But of course, the criticisms must also be in line with facts that you should be able to back whatever you have with facts. I am not comfortable with some of the statements that have been said against the professor. I mean, to the extent that some people are saying that he has been bribed and whatnot and whatnot. Let us give credit to people. Look at the pedigree of Professor Frimpong Boateng. I'm not sure he's in to receive anything from anybody before he can air his views. But of course, his views, when you want to air them, his language must be decorous and must be measured. That I agree.
Doc, stay with me. Let me bring in Dr. Yaun Tamaklo. He's a founding member of the NPP. For you, this may seem like deja vu, really. What we're experiencing now, the NPP says they have begun the process to expel Professor Frimpong Boateng. What's your thoughts, really, on what is happening within the party?
I think I would say it's very unfortunate. Unfortunate in the sense that if we have had an executive leadership as we had years ago, by people like B.J. Darocha, Ajeni Boateng, and others, the step taken today, they will never take that step. I remember when we were just a group and we were not yet MP, there have been arguments, intellectual arguments, and all sort of discussion. Nobody spoke. Now, Frimpong Boateng is a gentle. Frimpong Boateng has experience. He is very, very knowledgeable. And I'm sure he chose it well carefully. What the party should have done is to invite him for a chat. But the way that Grassroots strict, that the leadership of the party knew, if we are not careful, will disperse the party members. A party that has just come out of elections where we have failed somebody across the nation. You don't treat members, such outstanding members like that. Indeed, what we should have done, right from the word go, and I said it on television, we should have organized the grassroots, let them know where our mistakes were, and then rebuild the party before we pick a leader of the party. What has happened today is very unfortunate. And I believe strongly, if they are going to dismiss Frimpong Boateng, which I am told the whole thing is in the process, then very soon they will sack a lot of people from the party. Because there are a lot of people who have similar views, just like Frimpong Boateng has got in the party. Maybe they are not aware. So that is all that I will say now.
Looking at what is playing out within the party, does it appear that the leadership is losing touch with the grassroots in the NPP from where you sit?
So say it again. Say the leadership is doing what?
Losing touch with the grassroots.
Absolutely, but that's what I said from the beginning. They have no contact with the grassroots. Political parties are built from the grassroots. That's why we have various platforms before you get to the top. And this is what we should have done immediately after the election. And they chose to pick from the top, thinking that if they pick a leader from the top, who probably they have sympathy with, or he has sympathy for them, the president executive might stay in. You follow me? And believe me, it's going to by far. Mark my word. I don't talk loose. This particular party, the way they are handling it, we've seen leaders in the party. We've seen highly intelligent people in the party. They never behave this way. Never. Kufo handled the party, handled beautifully. Rocha handled the party right from the word go. He handled it beautifully. Peter Alaji handled it beautifully. Odwe Sai handled it beautifully. Why is the party at the moment in shambles? That is the question they should ask themselves. Why have all the senior people in the party kept quiet? That is something that should be a concern not only to the executive, but other members of the party. When you have that long silence, then you should know that you are getting into serious trouble as a political party.
And then as we wrap up the conversation, looking forward for the NPP, is there even hope? Knowing fully well that the party internal primaries is just a few weeks ago, we've seen in the public space where different camps are already alleging that party executives are scheming behind the scenes to try to elect a de facto candidate. Do you see the future for the NPP?
Well, if they are able, or if we are able as a party to go through what we are doing now, which I really doubt, because there are certain contestants who have come out with threats. But if we are able to go through that, I can assure you the masses will reject the present party national executive. And if they did, then we shall, new ones are put in place, we shall have a good political party once again. Thank
you so much, Dr. Yahu Tamaklo. He's a founding member of the NPP. Let me wrap up with Dr. Asah-Asante, who has also joined the conversation. From where you sit, what is the way forward if the party hopes to galvanize its base in the upcoming polls?
The party must embrace everybody. They must welcome criticisms and, of course, try to unite themselves. Antagonism, bickering, rancor will end up dividing them and to keep them away from political power. If they are minded and they want to win power, they must proceed with caution and make sure that every member, irrespective of the person's opinion, ideology, and the rest of them, you want to accommodate them so as to make sure that you have a united front that will battle the NDC in 2028. Otherwise, then they will have their fingers bent.
Thank you, Dr. Asah-Asante. He's a political scientist. Let me wrap up with Haruna Mohammed. We've just been hearing from Asah-Asante advice that you need to develop a thick skin for criticism. And it appears that the party is not doing the same. Will you at least be doing that moving forward?
Firstly, we have accepted criticisms a lot from civil society, from members of the party, from the media. We've accepted a lot of criticisms, but I want to correct something here. Let me put it on record, and multimedia should take it from us. Dr. Nyaho Nyahama Tamaklo is not a member of the New Patriotic Party.
He's a founding member.
Again, he is not a founding member. Take it from me.
Why is he not a founding member? The fact that he is no longer in existence in the structure does not negate the fact that he played a role in the foundation of the party. That at least you agree.
Firstly, people who are founding members of our party are known. There were people who signed on the document at the Electoral Commission. Dr. Nyaho Nyahama Tamaklo never signed any document. So please, I am telling you, I am the crocodile coming from the water. I'm the Deputy General Secretary. I am telling you that he's not a founding member of the party. Again, Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo was suspended as a member on the 3rd of March 2016. And again, on 14th October 2023, Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo said, and I quote, "I was a member of the NPP until Mahama came into the scene." Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo reveals why he betrayed his former party. Ask him whether he made that comment or not. Our party is a party of rules. You cannot tell us that you are no more a member of the party and you will come to arrogate yourself a founding member. Please, multimedia, we would never forgive you if you call him a founding member again. I am serving this notice. We respect multimedia a lot. And Nyaho Tamaklo is not a founding member of the Patriotic Party. And nobody should describe him as such. He's no longer a member of the party, per what he said by himself, that he was not, I was a member of the NPP until Mahama came into the scene. He said so in 2023, and that should be put on.
But let's focus on the key concerns, and I appreciate the fact that you draw attention to that. However, we cannot be threatened. We are joy. Hence, let's make progress. The concern has been raised. Will you at least give Frimpong Boateng the opportunity to defend himself before the verdict is passed?
How do you defend yourself when you say you are no longer a member of the party? To defend yourself for what? To say you didn't say so? We are going to apply the provisions of the party's constitution. And that is exactly what we are going to do. And for you to say Joy cannot be threatened, Joy is known to chain out accurate information. You are not a member of the party. We are members of the party, and we are telling you he's not a founding member. It's not a threat.
Haruna, I take exception to that description.
Multimedia is a big platform.
Joy do not churn out average information. The reason why we gave you this platform is because we want to hear all sides of the story. I take exception to that statement. We do not make average comments. With all due respect, Haruna Mohammed, with all due respect, we do not churn out average information. Your feedback is noted. However, we take exception to that statement. Let's make progress. Let's make progress. Let's make progress. Please make your point. Haruna, would you be making a point? Okay. Thank you so much for your time here on The Pulse. Haruna Mohammed is Deputy General Secretary for the NPP. You're still